Hello, Robert Heffernan with EndoTech AI for FinTech. Who was paying attention on the early intro for the Go to the Chart segment, which we will not be doing. I got to maybe hire a union worker here to take care of the audio-visual side of the intros. Anyway, this is Blockchain Vitals. It's our weekly segment talking cryptocurrencies. And not only are we not going to go to the chart right away, we're not going to do the rounds either because I'm sure you've heard enough about the only driving story on the planet Earth, this COVID-19 situation that we find ourselves in. We're going to just go right to the vitals section. Taking the vitals, and not to make light of the incredible challenge on our medical system, but I actually take a lot of vernacular from the medical field and a lot of traders too, talking about the general health and or therefore sickness of a particular asset. All right, and we named it Blockchain Vitals for that specific play on words, basically. What are the vital signs? What is this patient, if this asset were a patient, what is it telling us? And obviously the medical community doing an incredible job evolving the fight against COVID-19. And they use what they know. They use medical terminology for medical symptomology to drive their decision making. And we do the same thing in trading as opposed, when it comes to what can you look at, what can you track, what kind of vital signs can a market give you in order for you to make decisions around the relative health or sickness of that particular thing. Now, in trading in particular, there's a bit of a difference as we're tracking price discovery versus the vital signs of a living thing. And for me, then, the fractalization, the time frame that you're looking at becomes incredibly important and informative for decision-making around trading these assets. Anyway, let's take the vitals and talk about price discovery, because price discovery is the only thing that drives, from this trader's viewpoint anyway, from this trader's viewpoint, price discovery is what drives my decision making and the story that price discovery tells. So right now, Bitcoin trading 68.55. Now, what a difference a few days makes. 68.55. Look at this now on the daily fractal, which is right here behind me. Bitcoin 68.34 is the up momentum level on the daily. How long has it been since we've been able to talk about an up mo level on the daily? Not only that, when we look at the weekly fractal, we closed out of lower momentum on that weekly fractal. Last week coming in 65 something. This week 65.36. All right, I could grab the number. It's on the desk in front of me, but I'm not gonna because I don't have to. The important level is 65.36 this week. That's the weekly lower momentum level in Bitcoin. And from a standard deviation modeling, that's that level's important. I don't mind us trading back towards that. You could even sneak back into lower momentum for a little bit. We closed out of lower momentum last week. Key sign of the relative health being better for Bitcoin. Now we need to really hold above this level this week, maybe extend higher. Let's look at some of those levels. 73.64, the upmo collar on the daily, and 8,061, the weekly moving average that our standard deviations are being calculated off of. 80.61. So a lot of room here to the upside, obviously, as we've revisited unhealthy price discovery in Bitcoin as of late. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing here. I am long. I want to see us hold. I really don't want to see us penetrate too far into this momentum level on the weekly, 65.36. You look at that daily, 65.70. The daily average, and then 63.05 daily lower momentum If we snuck through 65.36, that's okay. I certainly don't want to see us go back down and trade and close in lower momentum on the daily fractal, which is right in front of you and available every day at EndoTech.io. Ether right now trading 144.40. 144.40. It also in Mo on the daily. It also out of lower Mo on the weekly. 135.57 is lower Mo on the weekly. That weekly moving average 183.06. Look for that level as if this stuff is going to be healthy, if it's going to trade healthier. Those are the levels that we will attack. That weekly moving average. XRP right now trading. Hold on one second. XRP trading 1811. 1811. It also out of lower Mo on the weekly. That's 1722. Weekly moving average in XRP 2203. Litecoin trading 4076. 4046. Lower Mo on the weekly. Again, it trading out of lower Mo on the weekly. 5510. Weekly moving average. EOS trading 237, 238. Lower Mo on the weekly. And hold on one second here. Let me do this for us all so you can see those daily numbers there in EOS. Anyway, 237 last, 238 lower Mo on the weekly. Weekly moving average at 331 on strength. BNB trading 1373, 1273 lower Mo on the weekly. It also out of lower Mo on the weekly. 1706 weekly moving average for BNB. XTZ, again, one of those ones that has been the healthiest as far as this trader is concerned. 169 last BNB. XTZ, 144 lower momentum on the weekly. Weekly moving average is at 212. Weekly up Mo level 280 for XTZ. And XMR trading 5411, 4664 lower Mo on the weekly. So it can, well out of lower Mo on the weekly. 6265 is that weekly moving average in XMR. 7863 weekly up momentum level in XMR. So one thing that I know for sure, this is what I know for sure as a trader, is that the news or what you think is the fundamental drivers of any particular market sometimes is very difficult to ascertain, number one. Number two, is enough big money, entering the market to sway that fundamental reality. And for me, the price action's everything. I don't care what you tell me how things are supposed to be. I don't care how you tell me. Believe me, and again, I've been trading a lot in the fiat world, and this has happened again now, where I've made good money, but in the agricultural quadrant, especially in the United States of America, I thought early on there's going to be a huge protein surplus here if nobody's going to bars and restaurants. And I tried playing the short side and I actually lost money, and now I've made that and then some back. But the timing of what is apparent fundamentally is so difficult if you do not marry the technicals. That's what I'm saying you got to do. You got to marry the technicals because the timing happens when the technicals tell you that the timing has happened. And I will go to my grave, and hopefully I'll go to my grave having learned this lesson, right? That you can have this idea the way things should be, but if the street is betting the other way, and if there's enough money to bet the other way, actually the other way has got a chance to happen. I don't know. It's crazy. It doesn't seem like it should work that way, but I've been around trading long enough, and I've seen enough people marry their fundamental decision and then end up being a real estate salesman instead of a trader because they didn't pay attention to the weight that the technicals have. All right, that's all I'm asking you to do. Mind the momentum, for God's sakes. All right, listen, that's what I got. We'll see you back next week for another segment of Blockchain Vitals Weekly. Until then, be disciplined, trade discipline, mind the mo. Please share the video, and we'll see you next week.